What is happening, everybody? Oop, gotta move my mic here. What is happening, everybody? It's Vicious here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how I feel about the DNF Duel Beta. This is just a replay that's already on my YouTube channel. It's on my Twitch right now in better quality because I don't know why YouTube gives you like some weird. I forget what it's even called. They give you a codec. They give you a weird codec if you don't have something in 1440p, which is kind of like some capitalist bullshit. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about DNF Duel and how I feel about it. And man, I gotta say, guys, I fucking love this game. I just got done a little bit ago. The beta had just stopped, and I just got into it with this Berserker, and this Berserker was really good. I'm gonna upload a little bit of that gameplay soon, actually. The only reason it's not on this video is because I had to like get my flash drive, and I really want to just get my thoughts out while they're fresh. I'm still thinking about the game, and I still got this Twitch replay here because it's gonna look horrible on YouTube. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about on this game, and I want to talk about the mechanics a little bit and get a little bit in depth with that, if that's all right with you guys. If you want to hear some boring stuff like that, be my guest. I'm going to be here, and I'm here for it. So this is not a theory video about who's going to make it in the game. I apologize. I know I got a lot of subs off of that. My sub count within the past couple months has been, it's went from what, like 7 something to now at past 900. If I can get to 1,000, I'd be eternally grateful, because I've always just wanted to make content on YouTube. Like, if I could make content on YouTube and quit my job, that'd be excellent, because I actually kind of hate my job. But I'm sorry. Let's talk about DNF Duel and the beta. I gotta say this. I woke up because it started at 9, just like the same time the trailers were coming out, at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And I got up and it was not working, and I was pissed. I was really salty. I got 2 matches in, and that was it. And I was like, this game is not going to be that good because X, Y, or Z. I didn't know much about the game. I expected it to be a different way than what it was. And, I learned the breaks. I learned how the game worked. And I know better combos than what I'm doing in this video here now. I got a grasp on the combo system. Every character is different. It reminds me of like a classic Arc Sys game in that regard. I want to say aiding too, but with aiding, well, yeah, aiding, I guess they were pretty unique in aiding titles too. We got Marvel vs. Capcom and Bloody Roar. Specifically, Bloody Roar is what I'm familiar with. But yeah, they have their own unique combos, and they have their own unique ways to do the combos. There's no like set mechanic in the game that keeps them comboed, right? There's no bound like in Tekken, and it basically functions kind of like how BlazBlue would. Now, a lot of people have compared this game to Street Fighter, said it's a footsie fighter, or like it's like a beta version of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and I think that's I don't think that's an accurate take. This game can get pretty fast, and the pace can be pretty fast. Only problem is some characters aren't as fast as others. Like the character I'm playing with right now, Kunoichi, is really fast, right? But there's also another character, and I might scrub through this footage here. There's another character, the Grappler. The Grappler is really slow, and so is Crusader. But overall, I think the movement is fine for what they're trying to accomplish here. There's no blocking in the air, which kind of disappointed me because I thought I had seen it in one trailer, but I must have been mistaken. I thought it was the trailer Hitman was in. Or the character got announced after him. What was the character got announced after him? Dragon Knight? But evidently I was mistaken. And that feels like it's not how it should be. Personally, that's how I feel. Now, it can work without being able to block in the air, but I think that there needs to be a little bit of a change with the on the ground mechanics. Like, roll is pretty decent, but the recovery on it's pretty crazy. Like, if you try and roll, it's like KOF. You roll and then you don't recover quick enough, then you're just gonna get caught, and that happens a lot when I fight this Hitman specifically. I'll try to roll, and I think I learned later on in our matches where I was like, you know what? Okay, just don't roll at a bad time, but it's hard to choose a time, especially when this guy has crazy footsies. If you don't know what footsies are, because you're new to fighting games, footsies is basically having a far-reaching normal or special, like he has. So a good example of a footsie would be his down B or 2B for you guys that are more savvy. It reaches very far, and he can confirm that, meaning he can, see what happens when he hits you into a 6 S, which is a move that goes forward and shoots. Which, I know I sound like I'm pretty salty, but I think that Hitman's pretty good. I think that he fills a niche role in this game. Of being able to hit you a lot. He's rush down, and he does a lot of guard stamina damage. I kind of want them to get rid of guard stamina because it makes it so you have another thing to pay attention to, and it goes down rather quick depending on who you're fighting. Hitman does a lot of chip damage, as you guys can see, and if he does a what's it called, a MP move, it takes away my recoverable life. That's how this game works. Every other hit that happens to you is recoverable life, and MP moves get rid of your recoverable life. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, he does a lot of chip damage, and there's not a great way to escape without using your DP. So, that might be something to think about adjusting, because there's not really a lot of, holes in his gameplay. Which I kind of want to get to character balance next. I want to talk about the mechanics. So, again, I think that guard stamina, I really don't see the purpose in having it in this game. I don't see why you just can't have good defense. It feels like they're trying to rush you a little bit to just fight, and not every character is a rush style, right? Not every character can even do that. And I guess that's good because it gives characters unique niches, like I said, Hitman has. But boy, it's kind of hard keeping up with that, because once you get that guard break, they're liable, depending on what they do, they're liable to get any combo they want on you. Even though there's a little bit of a, sorry, I got a throat sore. There's a little bit of a period where you're like, man, I don't know if this is going to break or not. So you might not be able to confirm everything, but you get good enough. I can see people confirming whatever they like. What else? The MP meter, which is the blue meter that's underneath your health bar. I'm a little iffy on this, so it recovers no matter what. And these attacks that you use with the MP, it's basically like DFO. You're using MP attacks, but some of the attacks you do with the special button should be MP attacks, but they're not. So it's a little weird. You can't do EX moves, meaning you could spend more meter to make the move stronger. At least as far as I know. There are some moves that take more MP than others, but there's no list or way to tell what it is. I think quarter circle back, maybe with most characters, is 20 MP. Or I'm sorry, quarter circle forward with most characters is 20 MP, but I don't know what back is. Back is 40, and then the DP is 60 or something. It's pretty crazy, but as long as you have MP, you can use your MP moves, which is good. There's no penalty for that. And my friend said that he thinks there should be a penalty. I'm not so certain about that. I do think that they should start you off with 150 meter or something to that effect, because you don't get to use much of your arsenal at first. You do a couple combos, but if you are stuck with a low amount of life, you're just kind of stuck. I'm sorry, with a high amount of life, you're just kind of stuck to doing some meager combos at first, which is kind of whack. And you can only access your super when you have that last little quarter of your bar, which is separated. You see the part of the bar where it's orange and then it goes into yellow. You can only use your super at that point, and I don't really like that because there's some times where you need to use a super and you need to come back, and this game's comeback factor is kind of bad because of that. They give you more meter to work with, but that's not necessarily the best thing ever. Sometimes you need a super. I just wish that you could do a super with 200% meter. I think that that's fair. Well, not 200% meter, because then you have to have low health. Maybe that brings me to my next point. I think that you should start off with 150 points of MP. And personally, I think that, you know, how I recover my health when I just fought this dude and I ran up to him. If I get up to 200 at any point, I should be able to do a super. I think that that's fair. I think that that's a good thing to do. Let me see. What else do I have to say? Let me get a drink of water. All right, that water made me feel better. Hopefully my voice sounds better and not as like raspy. Anyway, so yeah, I was talking about the meter. I think starting off with 150 meter would be good. And I either that or lower the amount of meter it takes to do MP attacks. It seems a little nuts that I had to like sit back and I had to like back up just to make sure I have the amount of meter that I want. There are some characters that can mitigate this when they're at the last quarter bit of their health and their awakening ability happens. I think it's like Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight regenerates MP faster, which is good, but you know, I just want more MP in general. You know, I wouldn't have to worry about it so much, and there would be like a better pace of combat. Because for a lot of these characters, MP really makes their whole arsenal. I think that Kunoichi is one of those characters. So there's that. Also, there's a conversion mechanic, right? I don't even know if I have footage of the conversion mechanic, of me using the conversion mechanic, really. I don't. Not on this video, on another video. So the conversion mechanic is an ability where you have white life, which is your recoverable life, and you get this by blocking a very long amount of time, or you get it by just getting attacked by normal attacks, not MP attacks. And basically what it does is it converts that recoverable health that you have into MP. And I don't know if it extends your MP or not, but it converts that MP and it basically functions as a cancel for you, which is good. I'm glad that they're putting cancels in games. I'm glad it's a fast cancel and not a slow cancel like Guilty Gear. No shade on Guilty Gear. I still like Roman cancel. I just like rapid cancel more because it feels like you have to like think on your feet a lot faster. Even with the fast Roman cancel and Strive, it's a little rough for some characters. Anyhow, yeah, conversion. Conversion is very interesting, but I think conversion deserves its own meter. As a matter of fact, where you see the guard stamina, I think conversion meter should be there. And I think you should have at least 2 conversions stackable. That sounds fair to me, personally. The reason why I think this sounds so fair is because, look, all these characters, you want to go through the fight and you want to like keep as much health as possible. And when you convert to do like cool combos, it takes away your perfect and it takes away, you know, the finesse of the game, if that makes any sense. So that I'm not the biggest fan of. Get rid of the guard meter and give us a conversion meter. There's no burst in this game, so you just sort of have to like be comboed. The least they could do is let you convert whatever meter that you have to your MP, and maybe that way you can get MP more often. And I think that's the last system mechanic thing I wanted to talk about. I think that's a big thing, and I think it would really change the game and like make the pace faster or make it more interesting even. Because right now, the only character that conversion really works really well for, in my opinion, is a Berserker. The Berserker has an ability where he takes life away from himself, but it's all recoverable, and he instantly recovers it back when he grabs you. So that's nice, but the reason why it works so well with him is because he can basically make conversions whenever he wants. And he's sacrificing his life, sure, but I don't see why he can't still sacrifice his life and have a conversion meter and then do a grab so he can get his life back, because it's a big gambit and it's a gambit that might not pay off if he gets hit by an MP attack. Maybe he can make a gambit and then he can have a conversion converted to more meter and then move forward and do a grab to get his meter or get his life back, since he's sacrificing his life in order for to get more power. I think that that's a fair trade. Other people might disagree with me, but I personally think it deserves its own meter instead of like using your life. It's a little much. And I assume it's pretty a little much for other people that are like just getting into the game. They're like, why would I use my life? And you're right. Why would you use your life? A character who could use conversion a lot would be Grappler. I love to convert with Grappler because there are some moves that I feel like I leave myself open to, and I can convert if I have the meter for it, and I'd be all good. Now, how would the conversion meter work? The conversion meter would work with depending on your aggressiveness and how many hits you land and how many times you get hit. The same way super meter would work or burst would work in Blades Blue. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think on that. That's it for the system mechanics. I want to talk about the characters now. Okay, so let's talk about the characters. I think all the characters are pretty fairly balanced so far. I had like very negative opinions at first, but now I've grown to like love the cast. I thought Hitman was sauceless. He's not sauceless. He can hit you a lot of times like relentlessly, and it's pretty crazy. Grappler has like a pseudo infinite from what I experienced, and I actually done it. It's pretty easy to do. I would say get rid of that and maybe make his run speed faster. For a game that you can't block in the air with, you really have to take a big risk when you play the Grappler, and it's pretty insane how some characters can just hard counter him. Ranger is one of them. Ranger is pretty nuts because what Ranger is able to do is he's able to zone you, meaning he can hit you from far away, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Now, Grappler has an ability. It is 6 MP. If he holds that, he gains armor, so he can tank some hits, and he won't die while he's tanking hits either. I just tested that earlier. But it goes a short distance and it's punishable. So I would say maybe increase the distance in which he can travel until he hits the opponent. Either that or make it so that move is not punishable, because it feels a little ridiculous that I'm using my MP, hard-earned MP, and I might tank hits, and I might still not be able to, get any sort of advancement. And like I said, make his run speed a bit faster, because he's slow, and I get he's a grappler, but boy, like I said, with the guns, it's a bit rough. Speaking of which, there's his counter, his DP, which every character has a DP. It's allocated to, Dragon Punch Motion MP and 2 MP or down MP. His DP does not work on Ranger in most circumstances. The only move it works on Ranger with is the move where he like jumps in the air and shoots at you for some reason. But if you do shots close to the grappler and he tries to do his DP, it will not work. So I think that's something that needs to be definitely adjusted. Man, that was a nice slam I did there. So that's the Grappler. I'm not going to go over all the characters, just some of the characters. Ranger has a move where he does Rainstorm, where he's over top of you in the air and he just shoots. His special ability is to add more shots, which is great. I have no gripe with that. But the problem is, if he shoots you once with like an off shot, he's supposed to shoot you like multiple times. You're just frozen there for the rest of eternity. Like, as long as they have meter to shoot you, he can still shoot you. And it's kind of ridiculous, he should shoot you with like 2 or 3 shots before that happens, in my humble opinion. While he's in the air doing that move. And he's a better landing move too, personally. That's what I think. But that's all I had to say about him. Maybe give him a reload mechanic, because it's really hard to advance against him with, like I said, characters like Grappler. Or hell, even with Hitman, he can throw things out that can keep you from wanting to do a dodge roll, which is bad. So I would say at least give him some sort of reload mechanic for his A and B attacks. Not so much his S and MP attacks. They should just work at any point, because you're sacrificing something or having to do a specialized action, like when he pistol whips you and shoots you. Should not have to reload for that, in my opinion. Man, did I just knock out Ranger? Ranger, Kunoichi. Kunoichi's fire tornado is a little nuts, and I'm a Kunoichi player. I gotta be honest with you. They should decrease the amount of time it stays out but keep the amount of damage or possibly increase it, you know, just because it takes a while to activate and you can roll it pretty good. Look, he just countered Hitman shots, but he can't really do that with the Ranger as far as I know. Anyway, what was I about to say? Gosh dang it. I was just so... I miss playing this game already. I really do. Was I talking about the reload mechanic? Yeah. The Ranger, I think he should just reload, man. I think he should reload those shots unless it's a special button or an MP button, because he needs those for combos, and it only makes sense to me. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Grappler has a really good armor move in his, what is it, 2S. It, like, gives you armor quicker than his 6 MP, and it launches you, and it's safe. But, again, it's a big whiff, and you can sort of jump over it depending on if you catch it early enough. Okay, so I did what I thought about Grappler and what I thought about Ranger. Who else is on the list? I also talked about Hitman, too. I think Hitman needs, like, bigger gaps in some of his moves because he could just sort of keep going, and it's hard to tell when you can attack. You have to DP, and I feel like that's a little much. Okay. I have no big gripes with Dragon Knight so far. No big gripes with Berserker. I think that they should make, I don't know, Crusader, he should work harder. You know, I know we're all about the memes and stuff, but I think Crusader could do with a little bit more like hard work instead of just setting up this automatic cross behind you and then just hitting you. Because when he buffs, there's seldom anything that you could do. He's going to tank a hit, and if he has a cross out, he's going to do a lot of damage to you just by pressing B, 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 and B. I would say maybe do something about how much the damage scales, and I don't know, make it so he can't just do B, 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 B. It's a little boring, right? That's Crusader. Kunoichi. Oh, yeah, I was on Kunoichi. Yeah, I'm sorry. Kunoichi and our Tornado. Tornado needs to last a smaller amount of time, do the same damage or more, and I think she's good. I think Kunoichi could be a problem, but, you know, with those adjustments, I think she'd be perfectly fine. Inquisitor in that wheel is nuts because you can summon 2 wheels and she can like dash behind you. It's really Kusoge because if she does 6S, she can dash behind you if she's like right next to you, so it can like mix you up. It's a good thing that you have a guard meter. I'm not a guard meter, a guard button, because it could really mess you up. But summoning 2 is a bit overkill. It takes up a large amount of real estate on the screen, and summoning 2 just feels like overkill because then she can just go on a magic series you. Okay, and I said I was cool with Dragon Knight. Who else? Striker is fun. I can't really say I want anything to change about her just yet. Vanguard is really interesting. I think Vanguard is pretty fair in some matchups. I think against Grappler it's a little like I don't know what to say about it, because he has all this range. Again, you have to adjust how fast Grappler can run or something. Oh! Yeah, that reminds me. Grappler. Another thing about Grappler's DP. Grappler's DP does not work against low normals, which sucks. So I would say maybe make it so it works against low normals so you can actually catch people, because anybody else with their DP is going to catch everything. Oh, yeah, maybe buff Kunoichi's DP. Kunoichi's DP is kind of bad. Who else do I really want to talk about right now? No, I think about does it. So those are my thoughts on the beta. Very fun game. Could use a little bit of polish, but if it released the way it is right now, I would still play it and I'd still love it. I'm going to be getting this on PC, and I'm also going to be getting this on console. I don't know when I'm going to get it on console, because console, it's going to be like $70 probably. And not only that, but, PC is going to have like customizable colors almost assuredly. Most ArcSys games do when you put them on PC. So, yeah. I'm really looking forward to playing this game in the summer or until in the next beta. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that I'm asking too much? Do you think that what I said is a bit egregious? I know it's a bit early, but this is all we have so far, and I'm telling you from my hours upon hours of experience. If you look at my YouTube or my Twitch right now, there's like at least 20, well, maybe not 20, maybe 15 hours of DFO gameplay, and I've played even more than that. So let me know what you guys think.